focused. I was so focused, it's like tunnel vision.
Liddell against Jackson for the title. And here we go!
There was no way in my mind I was going to let this guy come back and revenge his loss.
Good left up to the bottom.
I practiced that in my camp, you know, when he goes for the body shot to be a counterpuncher like him. It was just placed with exact speed and exact time, and he made the exact mistake that I wouldn't. It was perfect.
You are now the UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah. Congratulations.
Hey, I'm gonna be this way for a while, baby. You feel me?
I've known Quentin for a while, trained with him quite a bit in the past, and think he's a great guy, and it's all business out there, and I don't think I'm going to have any problem trying to knock a hole in his face.
The shot, he's got him down. A couple of knees down over that one. Has to not be taken down, and now he's just landing combinations over that right.
And another knee.
That's it. It's over, boss. It's almost over. What a spinning back fist. Dan Henderson does it.
I think this fight's going to be very exciting just because of what is on the line.
I think this is the biggest fight in my career, in Quentin's career, and in the history of MMA.
Nobody is going to come in and take this belt away from me no time soon.
I'm excited for the opportunity to see who the true world champion really is.
Dan Henderson has never been knocked out before. Granted, that's real. It's the first time for everything.
I'm ready to go mentally, physically. My conditioning's great, so the only thing left to do is go out and get my new belt.
Two-time Olympian in Greco-Roman wrestling. He's got a great clinch game. He's very, very good on the ground. Not a lot of people see him there, but he's got great submission skills. His front choke is really, really good. He's got a ton of great submission skills. It'll be interesting to see if we end up on the ground here tonight. I'm thinking it's going to be a slugfest.
One of the interesting things that I heard him say in pre-fight interviews was that he said that he believes he has a definitive advantage in heart. He said that there's no quit in him. I think what he was implying is he believes there is some quit in Quentin. He believes that Quentin in the past, maybe from the Shogun fight, where he had hurt his rib and he was stopped in the first round and his corner was yelling at him to keep fighting and he wouldn't. He believes that he can get Quentin to quit, which leads me to think that you're probably right. He's going to try to slug with it.
I just think he needs to make this as much a wrestling match as he can. Quentin's a bigger and stronger athlete. He's a different Quentin Jackson than we saw back then when he lost those fights to Vanderlei or Shogun. He's had his own training camp, his own trainer now. He's a much improved Quentin Jackson. I think that's an underestimation by Dan if he wants to stand and slug with this guy.
I definitely agree that his stand-up is on another level now. Juanito and Chris Riley are really taking his striking and really improved it significantly.
This could be very much a situation not unlike the challenge that Randy just faced with Gabriel Gonzaga, in the fact that if Henderson, as you guys talked about, can get it into his world, and that's Greco-Roman, he can throw his opponent around and pretty much do anything he wants, allegedly. But if he gets out of that realm, Randy and Joe, he could very well put himself in jeopardy of losing here tonight.
Can you handle the pain? Let the truth be known. Savages reign, better learn to respect the baddest man in the game. I will ride over my enemies, ride or die. And I'm a rider, I can't hide my violent tendencies, I won't try. Cause I'm a fighter. I came to bring you some pain, it's so agony of fiends, but hearing them scream, assault and battery and need to see them bleed. Nothing but tragedy, I dream of you in the ring, coming to battle me. Why?
He's a friendly, fun, hilarious guy, but a very serious character when he steps into the octagon.
He is the UFC light heavyweight champion, Rampage Jackson.
Wayne Jackson probably has some of the most impressive slams in his resume in the history of MMA, including the brutal one we showed the highlight reel for Carter Luna, where Luna had him in a triangle, and he hoisted him up off the ground, hoisted his head like he was a fiddle, and slammed him unconscious, and then punched him from the back. Highly athletic, explosive guy, and he's really tightened up his striking over the last few years. Significantly improved in that direction.
He's not a bad wrestler as well. He wrestled in high school. Wrestling saved his life. It got him off the streets of Memphis. He credits his wrestling coach for pulling him in and turning him around and changing his life. His wrestling skills aren't bad. They're not at Dan Harrison's world-class level. They're definitely not bad.
He had a bunch of fights when he was in Pride where he didn't have good training, where he didn't have a lot of people to work with that were top-level competitors, and he believes he suffered because of it. And he had critical losses because of it. But he believes now very strongly that he still can. With Chris Riley, Nino, and all those guys he trained with, he believes that he's a real guy.
He certainly proved it against Chuck Liddell. But one thing that should be noted, Jackson in the past has been vulnerable to knees in the clinch. He's suffered 3 knockout losses in his career. 2 to Silva, 1 to Shogun. A lot of times he's vulnerable to knees, they break him down a little bit. Clinch, Randy Couture, Dan Henderson, something we could very well see attempting to be utilized.
Absolutely, Danny definitely has the capability to close the distance and control that position, dominate that position, dirty box, use the knees, the inside punches, the elbows, all those things, and take the fight to the ground from there.
Rampage Jackson. The dream matchup has arrived. UFC champion meets Pride champion to determine who is the best in the world. 205 pounds.
Very serious.
The titles are unified. And one man leads with that belt, the most prestigious in the world, the only one these fighters care about. The UFC heavyweight belt. Our tale of the tape for this, the main event of the evening. Rampage, 29 years old, 8 years younger than Henderson. Both are 6'1", both weigh 204, both have 73-inch reaches, both weighed in at 14.6 stone. For the official introductions of our main event here from London, the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Our judges for this World Championship contest are Andy Roberts, Douglas Crosby, and Cecil Peoples. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon is Big John McCarthy. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. 2 warriors have now entered the ultimate proving ground for fighters, the Octagon. And now, live from the sold-out O2 Arena in London, England, it's time! 5 rounds for the unified light heavyweight championship of the world. Introducing first, the champion, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record of 22 wins with 5 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 204 pounds, 14.6 stone. Fighting out of Temecula, California, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning 205-pound Pride champion, Dangerous Dan Hendo! And now, introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 27 wins with 6 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 204 pounds, 14.6 stone. Fighting out of Irvine, California, by way of Memphis, Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Quinton Rampage Jackson!
All right, gentlemen, this is for the Unified Championship, Light Heavyweight Championship of the world. Do I have any questions from the champion in the blue corner? Do I have any questions from the champion in the red corner? I want you to fight clean, fight hard, fight fair, touch gloves, step back, let's get it on.
Rampage said, we're not good friends, we're great friends. I don't like the guy, I love the guy. But tonight, it's about supremacy, as the 2 best light heavyweights on the planet are set to collide. Dan Henderson, Quinton Rampage Jackson. Big John McCarthy, our referee.
You ready? Let's get it on!
It is time to unify! Fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Rampage comes out swinging. Henderson has a violent right hand.
Look for him to step in like he's penetrating for a shot almost, and he brings that right hand way over the top. You don't even see it coming. He drops away. It's really nasty. Trust me, I felt it.
More than once, I'm sure. Anything in tight, one would assume advantage Henderson. A 2-time Olympian in Greco-Roman wrestling.
Nice knees to the leg by Quinton.
First fighter in history to hold 2 belts simultaneously, 183 and 205 in Pride.
Danny gave the place to Quinton
Oh,
now.
nice knee by Henderson. Those are
Coming up and over the top.
very nice technique and a nice elbow inside as well.
Both guys in the over-under. Danny doing a nice job of rotating himself off of the fence and putting Quinton against the fence.
You know that Rampage has spent countless hours trying to work against someone utilizing the clinch, but Randy, as you kind of described it, it's hard to find another Dan Henderson.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
There's
just
only a few in the world.
There's not that many Greco-Roman guys in this country that are at that skill level. They're just not here.
So you
I
can
love how he's throwing that knee to the leg. That's
Up
very
and over.
unusual. Yeah, really unusual how he's getting his hip up and over like that.
Kind of a tie, almost a tie.
Same principle is coming downward with the elbow.
Shoulder punch, shoulder punch by Danny.
Stepping away. Rampage trying to get him on the way out.
Watch for this right hand now.
From which guy?
Henderson. A nice slips right in behind Quinton.
Very nice.
Foot sweep. Follow with an elbow.
And in a favorable position, side control for Dan Henderson.
And Henderson has tremendous top game. Very good at controlling people once he's got them on their back.
This guy has a grip from hell. A gorilla grip. I'm telling you.
Push it out, Rampage.
It's amazing how strong he
There
is.
you go.
Henderson's
that's
beaten Renzo Gracie, Murillo Bustamante, Vitor Belfort, Vanderlei Silva, Babalu. I mean, it's a who's who
A
list
lot of gas in there.
of mixed martial artists that Henderson has defeated. Same can be said to a certain degree for Quinton Rampage Jackson, though, including the fact that Jackson has beaten Chuck Liddell not once, but twice.
Back of the head.
Rona, Randleman.
Oh, under his throat now. Get your forearm
But
under
so
his throat
far,
now.
Dan Henderson Henderson.
Ooh, isolated the arm. That gives him free shot to Quinton's head. He did a nice job of scrambling to get it out of there.
Left arm under his throat.
Land elbows.
Left arm under his throat, Rampage.
From October 1999, got it again. To present day, Henderson did not fall on American soil.
Now it's really stuck. Now it's stuck
In that crucifix, all on Matt Hughes and BJ Penn.
But he's
Does a nice job using the fence.
Oh, a nice job.
Rampage is off.
Good right hand to Henderson and a nice right to the body.
Tonight he fights in the American organization, the UFC, for the first time since 1998 here in the UK. Dan Henderson.
Nice body lock by Danny, and Danny's doing exactly what he needs to do, make this as much a wrestling match as possible.
Again, working that knee to the thigh of
Work your way out.
Rampage Jackson.
Which could have an effect later in the fight, Joe, as you and I have talked about before, on Jackson's ability to put that weight on the front foot and turn into some of those punches. He can start to break down that lead leg.
Yeah, he's
over and
really
over again.
digging into the meat of the leg.
And the point of that knee out and driving it right into Quinton's left thigh. And I think that's what put Quinton's feet so close together that allowed the foot sweep.
You've used the expression over and over again. You've also demonstrated it for us a few hundred times, Randy. That is imposing your will on your opponent. That's what Henderson's doing here.
Exactly what he needs to do is come out and get in his face, close the distance, use the fence, use those Greco skills. Not allow any space to use the box.
Right hand. Oh, left hook's changed. Quinton got cracked there. That left hook landed on the butt. Good knee by Quinton.
Under 30 seconds remains in round one. Our main event here tonight.
Back to the body lock of Danny.
Over 20,000 in attendance.
Come on, work through it.
The most tickets sold to see a fight in London since 1995. Frank Bruno, Oliver McCall. And they are here to watch these two men. Good knee at the end of the round. Good first round for Henderson.
Great first round. Let's look at some of the action here. This is when Henderson was on top, and he had that arm isolated, and Quinton used the cage to push off and roll over, and eventually escaped.
Nice job scrambling out by Quinton Jackson there.
Boom.
Here's a nice uppercut and a left hook. Dan Henderson swinging punches.
Rampage got a little bit of a hook in, or a little bit of an uppercut, pardon me, in there. Matt Lindley.
Coming out of the clinch, your man's got to be Josie is a left hook.
Two longtime teammates, and none other than the man sitting next to us, Randy Couture. Benito, talking to his light heavyweight champion, Quinton Jackson, second round. Remember, this fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. It's the championship fight.
Round two, you
Rampage
ready?
really
You
came
ready? Let's get
bolting
it.
out in round one, looking to exchange. A little quieter start here to round two. Rampage then comes darting out with full sprint.
Yeah, a little more measured. I think that's what he needs to do. He's got to pick his shots and not get that distance closed by charging in.
Henderson doesn't have to fear the takedown, so he may open up with some kicks.
Good uppercut there by Rampage.
The attempt for that nice overhand right by Danny, and it missed. It slipped right inside of it.
And you made an interesting comment, Randy, before that sometimes Dan Henderson gets a little overexcited about the ability to throw that big right and gets away from his game plan. Is that something he needs to keep in check here?
Well, he definitely needs to do that tonight because Quinton's dangerous in the standing position, I think. And as long as he keeps imposing his will and getting into that wrestling match, that Greco match, that pummel match, he's going to be great. He's going to have a great night. He stands out here in range and starts to develop confidence in his ability to hit Quinton, and he puts himself at risk. Nice.
And there you go, right back into Wrestling 101.
Really
And
nice.
right back into side control.
And immediately passes.
Nice body lock. Great transition right to the cross-side position.
Watch the back of the head, Quinton.
37 years old, Dan Henderson. Way younger than that heavyweight champ.
Dan's got his right arm isolated.
He's going to try and look to step over that right arm with his leg and trap it between his legs.
your knees do? Keep those hips.
Henderson, UFC 17. Mobile, Alabama beat Carlos Newton and Alon Goez that night to win the middleweight tournament.
Both those fights were brawls. Danny got his jaw break against Carlos Newton in the overtime.
Fought for many years in Pride, was one of the best over there. Hoping for a triumphant return to the UFC.
Come on, gentlemen, work.
Jackson captured the WFA title, and that fight that Joe talked about against Matt Livlin, and then WFA purchased by the UFC. Mostly to get Quentin Rampage Jackson into the octagon.
Get him!
This is what Dana White's talked about for years, guys. The best in the world meeting in the octagon. Questions to be answered.
Dan Henderson is such a good wrestler's base. It's really hard for Quentin to find a way out. Nice scramble by Quentin just to get the erosion. Beautiful job. Gets the underhook, circles towards it, comes right up.
Getting up is only half the battle. Avoiding the clinch and breaking away and separating is really the most important, isn't it, Randy?
He's got to create some space, fight inside, create some space so he can start to land and get to that range where he's more effective.
Joe, what, if anything, can Rampage do to try to open up the gap and take it back into his world?
I think what Rampage should do is separate. I mean, right now, it's not. There you go. And he's on top. This guy's going to be very hard to hold Dan down.
Dan tries again to use that same body lock, stick around that near leg and trap it and push Quentin over it. Quentin floated his hips around it and ended up on top.
Yeah, Rampage trying to keep the side control here. So under 90 seconds remains in round number 2, and Rampage has his first bit of an advantage.
Now Rampage has got his arm isolated. He's on top.
Landed elbows. Danny trapped in that same position. He's missing the far side underhook. Trap it. Danny doing a nice job almost rolling him again.
Balls into half guard. Minute remains in the second round. Four-time world champion Sugar Shane Mosley visited Quentin Rampage Jackson up at camp as he got set for this big battle tonight.
Quentin loves to throw those elbows in the body.
Yeah, they hurt.
Yeah, it's one of the ways he stopped Chuck Liddell in the first meeting.
Short ribs, man. Hit you right in the short ribs.
Work your way out. Let's go.
It is a long and impressive list of accomplishments in the career. Grappling, wrestling, mixed martial arts of Dan Henderson.
I'm impressed with Quentin's ability to hold Dan down.
He's doing a nice job. He's standing in the half guard, sitting on that bottom leg. We call it wrestling a bottom leg Turk. Keeping him there.
And scoring some much needed points here.
Randy, sometimes when you're on top, you don't even like to pass. You like to hold that leg and keep that position.
Gives me something to hang on to. I feel more precarious in full cross-side position. Guy has more angles and ways to squirt out from under you.
Rampage finally able to score some points.
Good ending
in the latter part of that round for sure.
Entrance, okay?
Keep breathing. So you come up your third professional fighting here. Don't know if he's still tired. Get down.
Undoubtedly, he's pushed his physical level to one that he never
did hurt him, Rampage. He does not want to feel your punches.
He's taking places that he didn't even
Make sure he knows he hurt him.
Big Bear training camp in isolation and at altitude suits.
That's how we're going to lead him every time.
Henderson's used to fighting these big guys.
Here we go, guys. That's all we're doing. We're set it up.
Down the wrist, so.
Yeah, Nogueira in that fight was walking around somewhere around 230 pounds. Dan's got a lot of heart. I mean, he takes fights against heavyweights. And in Pride, they have wacky matchups. They used to have wacky matchups like that.
Third round. Rampage in the dark trunks. Henderson in the white trunks. Rampage may feel a bit more confident now.
tell him to follow that punch. They want him back in that clinch, close that distance.
One of the things to keep an eye on with Quinton is Quinton has been having problems. Nice leg kick. He's been having problems with his left hand. He had problems with it before the Chuck Liddell fight and fought anyway, and he was having problems with it all through training camp for this fight. It was only towards the end of the camp that he was able to punch really hard with it and not work.
A body shot by Quinton. Clear the clinch.
Rampage looking for that hook get into the night of Chuck Liddell.
And with his mouth open.
Center of the ring! Get to the center, Rampage!
The knee. And now it's Rampage who takes him down. And side control immediately again.
And he's got the head looped. May try to use this to scramble. Create a little scramble, off balance, a little bit, and come out from underneath.
Jackson, father of 4, Henderson, father of 3, just welcomed their third child, his wife Allison.
He's got the kids.
Reese Sierra.
Watch the back of the head, Dan. It's the last time I'm going to tell you.
His son is already wrestling. Rampage has switched the momentum up a little bit, Joe.
Knees to the body by Rampage. I'm really impressed with Rampage's grappling.
Let's go! All the way out!
More dominant position.
Back of the head, Quinton.
Henderson from the bottom and circle towards it. He's back on the half guard now, and I think that's a safer position, actually. They use this to roll.
We talked about it before, Rampage. His explosiveness and pure power gets him out of a lot of trouble getting on the feet or on the mat.
Very, very strong guy. He's got a good handle on that.
He's at least got one leg. Trying to work the guard, get a little leverage. And Rampage is out. 2 minutes remains in the third round. Mike Goldberg, Joe Rogan, UFC heavyweight champion Randy the Natural Couture. Glad to be with you here tonight, the O2 Arena, London, England.
Return the favor to dance. Wrap that near side arm, free up that hand. Again to the Kimura's Henderson.
Come on, use the fence to get up. Get your back along this fence. Come on.
He's going to force him to roll. He's got it out. He's going to take it roll.
Henderson.
He's going to keep it here.
Crank on that arm and shoulder. Still plenty of time, Randy.
He's lost the Kimura now, but he's definitely changed positions. Used it as a scramble, which is what I thought he might be trying to do. Nice elbow by Dan.
Back and forth battle. War of attrition. Exactly what many of us expected. Now good elbows in the ground and pound from Dan Henderson.
Shove his head right at me. Shove his head right to me. Put his hand on his face. Put his hand on your face.
And right in front of Henderson's corner. Matt Lindman there.
One of the few times you probably hear your corner.
Push the face away. Push the face away. Cover the mouth. Push the face away. Sit up.
Is it as comforting
You
as
are
it would
hurting
appear to
him.
be?
He's breaking.
It does help hearing that voice. It encourages you. You can't necessarily see
Get
the
higher than him.
inside.
Get your elevation higher than his.
Nice pass by
Get your
Dan now.
elevation higher than his.
Trying to use the cage to stand up.
He'll do himself out.
15 seconds remains in the third round.
Moving first.
Dan let him turn and keep the hooks from the mouth
Moving.
position.
Big suit. Big
trying to
suit.
stand up here.
Big throw. Big throw there. Big throw.
Rampage
Big
stands
throw.
up. Good knee.
He's Rampage.
Jackson coming forward. Henderson just ducked underneath. Rampage exploded.
Great round. Watch the back of the head.
That one's going to be a hard round for our judges to score.
Same thing I'm telling him. Watch the back of the head. Elbow into the back of the head. Next time we'll start calling him.
Now they head into the championship rounds. Both these men are very tired. Where's the water? Let's take a look at the end of the round here. This is where Henderson had his back and is scrambling. He throws that knee. Quinton throws a knee of his own, and they both unload. successfully ducking those punches, but there's some serious bad intentions on it.
Right on. You have control on him on top. He's fighting for position. Beautiful sweep, man. I need that
Now,
stuff
as this
early.
fight goes into the later rounds, Randy, who do you give the advantage
He ain't
to?
doing shit. He never gets on top of
Well,
the
I think with the
Hey,
bigger fighter,
Here we go,
the
man.
way things look like
Fight.
right now for 3 rounds, I think the advantage seems to be towards Quentin a little bit. He's had the momentum. Danny was able to turn it right there at the end with that Kimura, but
And you know, guys, interesting that you could say that Rampage has never been to the championship rounds, Randy, as you know, 4 or 5, and I guess Henderson hasn't in the octagon either, but in Pride, with that 10-minute first round, these guys have actually gone very deep into the clock, if you will, both men.
they've gone 20-minute fights before both of them. Never 25, but the 20-minute fights for sure.
Good jab by Quentin to start off the round. That 10-minute first round was brutal.
I remember training with Danny for some of those, setting the clock that way. It was a lot different.
Bring me back to the octagon. I'm done in 6 minutes. I've had enough. Jackson Henderson.
I didn't see what he got hit with. Quentin's back was in front of us.
It looked like Jackson got hit, but he must have thrown something at the same time because Henderson's the one that went down. Armbar attempt. Armbar attempt to Jackson.
Just pulled right out. And now Rampage looking to explode.
Rampage passing.
That's the armbar again.
Big John walk.
Just underway here in round 4.
If he can extend his hips here, looks like he's got the arm
Grab
trapped.
his shoulder and
Got him
drop him
stacked.
out, Rampage.
Can he extend and
His
put the pressure on that elbow?
Elbow down. Elbow down.
He's got to really use that leg to hook the neck.
Out again.
He's very tired at this point in time, too. In between rounds, Dan was breathing very heavy.
Shave the
This is a
chest.
grueling fight. Are you surprised at how much Quentin's been able to hold Dan down?
I know. Dan's very, very good at getting up when he decides he wants to get up. He's doing that now. He's on the quarter position, puts him to hand control and stand up. Picking the ankle and rolling it back over, taking his base away.
Going for that Kimura again.
Back into half guard.
Jackson caught with that left hook, guys.
Come on, hips. Keep that elbow in. That's it, son. Push him there. Hips. Keep your position, though. There you go. Stay disciplined there.
The championship rounds, and why would we want it any other way when we are unifying a title here tonight? And finally answering the question. We started 205, who's the greatest in the world? We'll give Fedor in here to fight this guy right next to us. Randy already knows, and bring some more middleweights in, like Anderson Silva, bring some welterweights.
How about Brock Lesnar?
There you go. A subject for another time.
Come on, gentlemen, get busy.
Jackson doing a very, very nice job of maintaining a top position on Dan Henderson.
That big left.
Watch
Big
your back of the
scoring
head. Watch
punch
your back
here
of
in
the head.
round
Just
4
watch your
for
back of the
Jackson.
head.
Quentin really impressing me here, controlling Dan. I don't think I've ever seen this in a fight. Dan getting controlled on his back like this.
Well, nobody wants to be a one-hit wonder. You know, and Juanito Navarro talked about that with Rampage. Like, he played one hit in and out as a champ and didn't leave and go, you know what happened then? He wants to dominate for a long, long time. 29 years old, he's in the prime. And so he is obviously, both Joe and Randy worked at all the other aspects of his game and worked very diligently.
Come on,
And you
Quinn,
see it
gotta do
displayed right here
something.
against one of the best in the
Let's go.
world.
Let's go.
But I definitely agree with Randy that the momentum is swinging Quentin's way.
Come on.
Dan's got to do something to get out of this.
Can't spend the rest of this round on the bottom of the half guard. He's got to scramble.
Ooh, good right hand by Quentin. He's got to take some chances and get rid of some energy and use some energy to get up. And I think that's what he's doing. He's trying to conserve energy, and that's why he's not trying to explode.
No, a lot of people
Stop
wanted
it right
to
there.
point to
Stop
the
it right
fact
there.
that
Let's go. Let's go.
Jackson had lost a couple of times to Vanderlei. Henderson
let's
had
go.
beaten
Get up.
Vanderlei.
Go around,
But really,
finish
when
me.
you get into a matchup like this, it's the styles that are colliding at that moment. The wills are all there, but the styles are the things that collide. And it's a different time, especially between the years of Quentin Rampage Jackson. So mentally strong right now. I know.
Back kick by Dan Henderson.
Never thought I'd see that. Never thought I'd see Wanderlei Silva with a spinning back fist either, though, and he did that. But that's a lot of energy to put that spinning back kick in there.
Rampage 30 seconds remains in the round.
Even here in this range, Danny's very dangerous. He may look tired, but I'm telling you that right hand is very nasty.
See if he's setting it up. Yep.
He will put you to sleep.
Done it to some of the best in the world before. Final 10 seconds of the round. Nobody takes the risk in the last 10 seconds.
This is the left hook that knocked down Henderson. It's more like he was off balance, it looked like. Let's take a look at it again. It looks like his positioning was bad. See, yeah, that's exactly what it was. You see his legs are together when he threw that punch,
glancing
and
blow.
moving away from it.
Really, when you look at that replay, Henderson's left hook had more of an impact on Jackson than Jackson's did on Henderson.
Yeah, but he had bad foot positioning.
This is fucking
Because he's being so wild, stepping in and running, he put himself in a position
You got
where
it,
his feet
buddy.
were
You got it. Right now, he's fucking gonna die. You got it. Throw those combos. Find a way to get on top. Do not settle for bottom. Nothing. Scramble your ass. I'm gonna be yelling.
Good advice by Matt Lindland. Do not settle for the bottom.
Let's go, guys. Come on, let's go, folks. This is it. It's do or die here. This is it.
Swing
Get him
kick,
out.
and that's what Dan did and got him out of balance. He got a power of the glancing blow that knocked him down, but I don't think it hurt him at all. I did notice at the end of the round, Quentin Jackson going back to his corner, looking at his left hand and shaking it.
That is the hand that he's been having problems with.
Danny Henderson's got a pretty hard head.
You know what? Quentin's going to put that aside for the next 5 minutes and use it, I'm sure.
The fifth and final round of this, our main event of the evening.
Side kick by Danny.
Trying to set up that right hand again.
Rampage landed that.
Rampage.
And Dan immediately comes back. You can see his heart. I mean, as soon as he gets hit, he's like, no. Immediate return.
Rampage packs so much power in those hooks.
A mouse on Danny's left cheek.
You can hear Matt Lindland screaming. You wrestle him. You get him to the ground.
It's that shoulder again. Now, this is a good position for Henderson.
If he wants that takedown, this is definitely the place he wants to be. Following his corner's advice. Close the distance, find a way to get on top.
Does he want the takedown immediately, Randy, or is he happy to stay in this Greco position?
Well, I think the takedown scores points, which he needs points in this round to continue to win the round. Yeah, if he wants to rest, he can hang out in this Greco position and control the position. But I think he needs to score points.
Randy, at this point in time, is points enough? I mean, can he win a decision?
I don't think he can right now. I think he has to make it a very decisive round. I think right now he's losing 3 rounds to 1. And he really has to make something happen in this 5th and final round.
I mean, he's really got to stop Quentin. I mean, it's very rare that we even see 10-8 rounds. So if he's gonna do something, it's got to be really significant.
That second round could have gone either way. It could be 2 apiece right now, and this could be the decisive round. We really don't know what the judges are going to do or say.
Watch your fingers in his face, Quentin. Go on your hip.
Quentin doing a good job avoiding the takedown here.
Nice knee inside. That staggered Quentin a little bit.
Quentin got hurt there.
Shaking it off.
And it's an uppercut. Now it's Rampage pushing forward. Henderson trying to answer. Final 2.5 minutes.
Good leg kick by Quentin.
Henderson senses the need to push and try to compete.
Desperation there.
No question.
Oh, nice combination by Quentin. Man, what a shot.
Everyone hitting flush. And the kick again. Superman right hand to Henderson. Henderson now closing in.
Quentin goes to the Quentin.
Again,
a nice body lock by Danny. Quentin trying to hang on. I think that left hook hurt him there.
Close guard.
Push him away, sit up. Pummel inside. Push his hand.
But as you pointed out earlier, both Joe and Randy, this may not be enough, though. This particular position, even though you'll score some points, may not be enough for him to score enough points at this point.
He's got to do something significant here, and I think he's got to try to pass. He's not going to hurt Quentin significantly from inside his guard.
You around, dude. Smother him, too. Smother that back.
But then the worry is when you start to try to pass, you open yourself up. Quentin could scramble and get up.
Gotta scramble up here. I don't think he can afford to leave it in the judge's hands. A little sneak attempt.
65 seconds remain.
And doing a nice job of stacking Quentin in here, trying to posture up, create some space, and land some good strikes. Creating distance with his feet, sitting on him now. And trying to wall walk up that cage. And working hard to keep him down there.
We always knew that Rampage had all the tools, but he has really matured as a fighter. You can see it here. Hands down.
Hands down, watch it.
Chance to go hard with his body, though.
This new camp has made all the difference in the world for Quentin Jackson. I think he's really come into his own. It's all about him now. He's learning and putting the things into his game that he needs to be a complete fighter.
Knee by Quentin. Another one to the body. Takes him down.
Light heavyweights in the world tonight.
With the finish strong here.
Five champion against UFC champion.
Dan gets up with 10 seconds to go.
And this main event of the evening is going to end as we go to the judges' scorecards. And what a conclusion for Rampage.
Both guys with their hands in the air. Great fight. Great technical battle.
That last 3 or 4 seconds might have been a precursor to what the judges are going to say, and Rampage is physically exhausted.
Let him breathe, he just collapsed, and they caught him and dragged him over to the corner. He's so tired. Chris Riley's fanning him off right now. Great fight.
Now that's the definition of leaving it all in the octagon.
Absolutely. Great fight by both guys. Danny did what he needed to do. He made this as much a wrestling match as he could, and Quentin Jackson still had the answer. He still did a good job of getting on top.
Let's take a look at some of the action here. This is the end of the round here. Knee by Quentin.
Big uppercut.
And here's the very end of the fight.
Danny a little off balance.
Dan was down, Quentin was on top. Randy, if Dan doesn't win the decision here and you were his advisor, would you tell him to drop down to 185 pounds?
It's the logical thing in my mind. He's never in his whole career, except for that one UFC and 2, fought guys his own size. I don't see a guy in that weight class that can hang with him. Honestly.
Two great champions entered the octagon tonight to unify the title to determine who the best in the world is.
How great would Anderson Silva?
I wanted to see that fight for a long time.
Come on, Rampage, center.
The judges have rendered their decision, and herewith the official decision. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Doug Crosby scores the contest 48-47. Cecil Peoples 49-46. And Andy Roberts has it 49-46. Declaring the winner by unanimous decision and still the UFC Light Heavyweight Champion of the World, Quentin Rampage Jackson!
Rampage holds on to the UFC Light Heavyweight belt.
Great fight, back and forth battle. Both guys look fantastic. Proud to know both these guys.
Randy, an emotional fight for you to watch with your longtime friend Dan Henderson, but we got a new star there in Rampage. He's with Joe.
All right, I'm here with the champion, and still champion, unified champion. How's that sound, Quentin?
It sounds real good, baby. You know what I'm saying? I trained real hard for Dan. because I knew he was tough. But I never knew he would beat up my fist with his face. Man, my fist hurt right now.
You were having problems with your left hand before this fight. How much did it hurt you during the bout?
Actually, my wrist did good, but just my knuckles going upside his head would hurt. It was a whole new injury now.
It was a great fight, very, very competitive fight. Take a look at the big screen and talk us through some of the action here. Tell us what you were thinking.
I was thinking, boy, I better do something or Dan gonna kick my ass. I saw him fall, but then I missed him right there. I was like, damn, I tried to give him a ooh-wee knot, but then I missed. Oh, he hit me with a big uppercut. That's normally my thing, so I tried to give him one back. You know what I'm saying? Blow for blow. And damn, I don't know what I was gonna do. I tried to do a knee, but then he keeps swinging. I missed my uppercut. I missed my hook, and I was like, damn, this must be the end of the fight or something. I don't know what this at, but I tried to slam him, because I ain't slammed nobody in a while. I was like, oh, he's a Greco champion. So I said, I figured I'd try to swing on him again. And I tried to knock him out, but that's the last of the thing, but he got a rock head, man.
You had to be impressed with your grappling about how much you controlled him on the bottom.
I did good. A lot of people don't know that I got jiu-jitsu. You know, my coach Junior, man, he worked hard. People think I don't got jiu-jitsu because I don't like submitting folks. I like Big John McCarthy pulling me about folks. That's how I like to roll, you feel me?
Well, Quentin, you are now the unified, undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. Congratulations. We can't wait to see your next fight. Quentin Rampage Jackson, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I want to praise God. He gave me everything I got. Thank you so much. Thank Dr. Hafoof and his wife, Miss Robin Hafoof. If I say your name wrong, please forgive me. I'm kind of, tired. Thanks for my family by letting me be gone so long and do what I dream of doing, being like heavyweight champion of the UFC, the greatest sport in the world. We taking over.
Quentin Jackson, folks.
Congratulations indeed to Quentin Rampage Jackson. He at least neutralized Dan Henderson in his own game, Randy.
He did a great job tonight. It was a great fight. Both guys did.
This is my destiny. Memphis, Tennessee. We represent all the way in London, baby. Memphis, Tennessee.
Randy Couture, the UFC Hall of Famer, here tonight for our main event of the evening. Rampage leaves with the biggest prize of all, and that is the UFC light heavyweight belt. Quentin Rampage Jackson defends. It was exactly what we hoped it would be, a unification bout that went the distance and was one that truly was a war of attrition. And we saw the continued growth tonight of Quentin Rampage Jackson.
Yeah, Quentin really looked fantastic, and it's really showing how all the elements of his game are coming together. His positioning, his top control, the fact that he was able to take Dan down, and his conditioning was just really, really fantastic. Juanito and all those guys working with him up in Big Bear have done just tremendous work with Quentin. He looks fantastic.
Congo looked great. He defeated Krokop and staying at light heavyweight. How about Bisping earning the split decision over Matt Hamill?
Sweet victory for Michael Bisping, and you know what? I think, Michael Bisping has got to think at some point in time about dropping down to 185 pounds. I know he beat Matt Hamill, and he did win the decision, but I think he could be a real dominant force at 185 pounds and eventually challenge for the title.
So you're sending Henderson and Bisping to go after Silva and Franklin and the guys?
How crazy would that be? Look, that 185-pound division is nuts as it is, but having Dan Henderson in that division, man, that would be fantastic. I mean, he is the Pride middleweight and light heavyweight champion, and I think it is a better weight class. I agree with Randy. He is more suited to to middleweight, and I don't think there's too many guys that are going to hang with him. But I wouldn't count Anderson Silva out in any fight.
We train hard. That's why we train hard for a tough fight.
Rampage leaves the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion. The first of many mega matchups inside the octagon. And where else to contest and answer the question than here in beautiful Britain? A night which was spectacular. Executive producers of the UFC, Frank Fertitta III, Lorenzo Fertitta, and UFC President Dana White. Our supervising producer is Craig Borsari. Director of production, Tim O'Toole. Tonight's show produced by Bruce Connell and directed by Anthony Pasquale Giordano. Alan Connell brought the crew across the Atlantic. Joe Silva brought the fighters. Czech Congo looked better than ever, taking down the legend, Mirko Krokop. What will the future hold for Krokop? We know the future is bright for Czech Congo. another factor in the UFC's heavyweight division. Congo reigns supreme. The ultimate of grudge matches that started inside the Ultimate Fighter house. The Count Michael Bisping, the Hammer Matt Hamill. They finally fought. They went the distance. And by the ever-so-close margin, it was Bisping who earns the split decision and remains unbeaten in his mixed martial arts career. And then the big one, Henderson and Jackson. Not good friends, great friends. Unifying the title and the belt tonight. And Jackson leaves the UFC light heavyweight champion again. For Joe Rogan, Randy Couture, all of us at Zupa, Mike Gilbert saying so long until next time. We see you right back here inside the Octagon.